morning show. And now to our host, Rob Churnside.
Good morning. It's Monday, March the 3rd. And yes, welcome to the morning show. Rob Churnside here for Cecil TV. I'm wearing my Mardi Gras beads. It's one day before Fat Tuesday. So, with that in mind, let's get to the weather. Today will be sunny with a high near 41. Northwest wind around 5 miles per hour, becoming calm. Tonight, expect increasing clouds with a low around 28, calm wind. And tomorrow, Fat Tuesday, will be partly sunny with a high near 56. Light south wind increasing to 5 to 10 miles per hour in the morning, and winds could gust as high as 20 miles per hour. Here are some events coming up in Cecil County in the next few days. Throughout March, join the Cecil County Arts Council and join the Arts Council for the Backroads and Quiet Waters exhibit, which will feature works in all media by Cecil County Arts Council members and non-members. The featured artist is Larry Garnett. See cecilarts.org for details. Experience the enchanting sounds of the Emerald Isle at the Milburn Stone Theater's Celtic Festival on March 8, 2025, featuring headliner Charlie Zahm and friends, the McAllen Paulson School of Irish Dance, and much more. From soulful ballads to foot-stomping jigs, there's something for everyone at this celebration of Celtic culture. See the Milburn Stone Theater website for details. That's March the 8th. Now in the news. WYPR is reporting that the class action lawsuit against W.L. Gore in Cecil County, Maryland, is expanding to include more residents from Fair Hill and Appleton due to the alleged contamination of drinking water and soil with, are you ready for this? PFAS/PFOA chemicals. That doesn't sound good. These forever chemicals have been linked to cancer and other illnesses. Around 600 people in Cherry Hill have already joined the lawsuits, which seeks remediation of water and soil, as well as medical monitoring for affected residents. A separate lawsuit has also been filed by Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown, who alleges significant past and future damages from contamination. W.L. Gore denies the allegations and disputes the Attorney General's lawsuit, which was announced last December. Now and only now, I'm happy to announce that we have a special guest today. We welcome poet, tree enthusiast, and walking stick maker. You can be a member if you have one. Norton Nearly. Norton has a strong connection with the outdoors and his Celtic ancestry. Norton, welcome to the morning show.
Thank you, Rob. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, it's great to have you here. I met you at a poetry performance open mic, as it were, at Jackal Brewing in Middletown, and that's where you're from, correct?
Actually, I live in Townsend, right near Middletown. Yep, and we met at Jackal Beer Works in Middletown. Yes.
I'll tell you what, that was a really cool scene, and every first Monday of the month, is that what it is?
Jackal, it's poetry and performance art at Jackal, the first Wednesday of every month, 6 p.m.
First Wednesday, yeah.
Yep.
You know, and I intend to come back. That would be March the 5th.
Yeah, actually, this Wednesday is our third anniversary, too. Yep.
Wow. I intend to come back because I met a guy who does haiku down there, and I'm all hepped up on the haiku now. And I wrote a haiku about you, and I'll share it with you Wednesday, March 5th.
All right. Yeah, we have a gnome that shows up and reads haiku. It's a little unusual.
There's no place like gnome.
That's right.
So you've published 4 books. You retired from the corporate world. You are into all kinds of stuff. We'll get to some of it today. But could you start things off by reciting one of your poems for us?
Sure. This piece, I say it's an iffy poem. It's titled If. If rocks were soft, would we take them for granted? If a dandelion was a flower, would we not kill but plant it? If hemlocks had fists, would we still value a 2x4? If water could run away, would a bottle of it cost more? If pigs sang songs, would we order a BLT? If cows danced ballet, would we just let them be? If tomatoes had faces, would they be on the salad bar? If pickles cured cancer, would we keep them in a jar? If fish had lips, would they smile or frown? If blades of grass sang songs, would we still mow them down? If ladybugs were male, would they get paid more? If deer owned rifles, would they even the score? If snowflakes were all the same, would they be as wondrous to see? If we all looked alike, would I value you as much as me? If you wore my shoes and I wore yours, would we close leaky windows and open stuck doors? If the dollar store clerk was your aunt, would you be more polite? If the homeless girl was your sister, would you bring her a blanket tonight? If It's an enormous word, and most things will remain the same, but some things can be changed by we players in the game. There you go.
That is pretty iffy, and there's a lot to think about there.
Yes, it's rather
And
iffy.
each line really, I looked up poetry on my phone. It tells me everything. And it says lines of, writing that evoke emotion. I think each one of those lines really could evoke a certain bit of emotion, coming back with the question, if.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So you've written 4 books.
sort of speaks to giving us opportunities to think from different perspectives, right? Yeah.
And you've written 4 books. Are they all poetry, or?
I wrote 2 poetry, and then one of essays, personal essays, and the most recent one is sort of like I guess a self-help book. It's called The Tree Mend Us Path, and I had a brain tumor 5 years ago removed, and I sort of crafted my own healing methodologies by spending time in the trees and meditating in nature. So that one's a little different, but maybe my favorite book for that reason.
Well, I'll tell you what. You have a deep connection with the natural world, forests and
Yes.
trees, and it supercharged you personally, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, I love nature. We often say nature is our church. We were out in the woods yesterday for about 3 hours, and it's very, I don't know, refreshing. It was cold, but it was nice, and it kind of renews everything, makes you feel better. So yeah, we spent a lot of time in nature.
And that's also shaped your writing to a certain extent, correct?
Yeah, first of all, I write in nature, so I find that being in a quiet, beautiful place kind of increases the creativity. So it helps me to write, but then I also do write about nature. I infuse nature into a lot of my writing as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I note from an article in the Middletown Life that you had a Jesuit education, which calls for intellectual rigor, moral development, and service to others. How has that background shaped your life and pursuits?
Yes, so I did 4 years of Jesuit education in high school, and I wasn't their favorite student probably, but certainly they encouraged deep study of subjects, and the pursuit of knowledge, the pursuit of truth. So yeah, I'm a avid reader and always have been since being a young guy. So yeah, I think they sort of set the groundwork for me studying things, not just on the surface, but trying to dig into things a little deeper. So yeah, it was important.
Yeah, reading is one of my favorite things. And I've noticed at my advanced age, I sometimes can't remember whether I've read a book or not. So I'll take a Sharpie and write on the spine of the book, when I finish reading it, and maybe put some thoughts down on the book so that the next person who gets it when I give it to the thrift store or where I got it from, then they'll know a little bit about the book.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'll make notes in paperbacks. I can't deface a hardback book. Maybe that's the Jesuits coming back to me. But yeah, in a soft cover book, I love to make notes as well. So you can go back and refer to them later too.
amen, amen. So I know that you from your printed stuff that you gave me the other day that I folded up and put in my pocket, couldn't find till this morning, that you have traveled a lot. You're way into the outdoors and biking and kayaking and all kinds of stuff. How has that affected your writing?
Well, so years ago, I had a little magazine called Great Outdoors Magazine. I did that for 6 years, and that was entirely writing about the outdoors. It was really sort of like a little guidebook, like a miniature outside magazine, describing places in this region where to go. So a lot of the stuff that I still have and I'm still working on, particularly essays, are nature or outdoors related. So I still have some more books in me coming that are really heavily tied to the outdoors. So yeah, it's kind of been running through my background ever since I was a kid. I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, spent a lot of time outside. So it's just they kind of walk hand in hand, writing and nature. So
Yes, and you make walking sticks too, right?
yes, I do. There's a couple in the background there. You really can't see them, but I've been making them. I started making them. My wife and I are backpackers, and we still hike, but not. I don't like sleeping on the ground anymore. But we started. I started making them when we were backpacking, and often just piddle around with a stick and then leave it at the trailhead when we were done. And then, probably 20 plus years ago, I started to make them a little bit more seriously. And we probably sell 200 a year at this point, and at festivals, Renaissance fairs, Celtic festivals, that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to ask you about. Where do you sell them? You go to all these different festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do mostly Renaissance fairs because the things that I make a lot of things with Celtic and Norse themes as well, symbology and stuff from those cultures. But it's a good fit for me, the Ren fairs and the Celtic festivals and things like that. But yeah, I've gone mostly Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, Delaware. I have gone as far as New Mexico for a Ren fair. That was an unusual setting for a Renaissance fair, but cool. So yeah, we do quite a bit of. We hit the road. We have a little RV, and we'll go out and do a festival for a weekend or so, and then come back. So, as a retired guy, it's a nice way to spend your time.
Yes, it is. And as far as Middletown centered stuff, what opportunities are coming up for people to further appreciate your work?
So, this Wednesday is the monthly reading or the open mic at Jackal Beer Works, and I'd say that's the best place to start. It's our third anniversary. We have some Irish dancers coming to open up the evening. We normally have a featured performer or artist that opens up the evening because we're trying to create really artistic and creative community. That's really the goal of this open mic, and to give people a voice, an opportunity for people of all experiences. We have some really good pros that come and play music, and then we have some people who are just starting out. So that would be the first thing I would suggest. We also host a poetry reading the third Wednesday of every month at Find Your Harmony, a metaphysical store in Newark. So that's another opportunity. And then my fifth book will be coming out shortly. And if you come to one of those poetry nights here within the next month or so, you'll be able to get your hands on that. So.
All right.
Oh, and one other thing, there is a festival coming to Townsend where I live at called the Mystic Fest. And that's the first weekend in May. You can look it up online, but I will be doing a reading there as well. So.
All right, Norton, sounds like you're pretty busy for a retired guy.
Yes, sir.
And I intend, like I said, I went down to the first poetry and performance open mic at Jackal on the first Wednesday of the month. Last month, had a great time. What you do is you Google on your phone, viewers, performers, potential people to go down and check it out.
Yep.
The address of Jackal Brew Works, it's something Patriot Drive in Middletown, I believe.
128 Patriot Drive.
And it's going to be confusing. You just have to weave your way through the industrial park. Once you figure out how to get there, it's pretty easy.
It's the last building on the right.
Yeah. They have a food truck too, and there's all kinds of artwork there that's for display and for sale. And you just simply sign up on the whiteboard, take a slot, and do your thing. I'm definitely coming next time, so we can talk more then. Is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers?
No, yeah, just come out and get your creativity on. If the first time you come, you can listen and get a feel for it. But what happens typically is people aren't sure they want to perform, and then when they see what a welcoming group of folks we have, then they normally step up there to the mic. I want to thank also Keith Thompson. He's a local musician who does the sound for us, and without him, it wouldn't be quite as good. So it's just a community of creatives. So come on and join us. All
right, I intend to be there. I will see you there, and thank you to our viewers for watching. Norton, thank you for interviewing on Cecil TV. And folks, thanks for watching Cecil TV. If you think programs like this are valuable, please consider becoming a donor to Cecil Public Media. Please like us on Facebook and subscribe to the Cecil TV YouTube channel. Have a great day. Thank you, Norton.
Thanks, Rob.